Hi everybody, my name's Amber and I'm the Director of Studies from English Today, and I'm also the head trainer, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the training room.
Could you tell me a little bit about your teaching experience?
Well, Dennis, I've been teaching in Indonesia since 1996, so that would be about 21 years now. I've had experience in a lot of different areas. I was actually the Product Development Manager for international language programs for 15 years, also Cambridge Assessment Manager. I've worked for a lot of different companies as well, doing a lot of different types of training. And at the moment I'm specializing in hybrid training, and hybrid training is a combination of developing English as a foreign language and also developing business communication skills.
Good, good. Could you tell me about some of those companies that you've taught?
Well, I work in a lot of different industries. I've worked a lot in the banking industries for a number of large state-owned banks here, BNI, Bank Mandiri, as well as some of the private banks such as BCA. I've also worked with a number of government ministries, Ministry for Agriculture, the Ministry for State-Owned Enterprises, and the Ministry for Communication and Technology. I've also worked a lot in the hospitality industry. In fact, I started my career in the hospitality industry, doing communication training in hotels. Yeah, a lot.
Good, good. Could you tell me what's the fastest way to learn English?
Million-dollar question. Million-dollar question. And there is no fast way to learn English. Learning a language is a lifelong process. It's different for different people. 2 magic ingredients of English, of developing your English fluency, and this is exposure and opportunity. You must expose yourself to English on a day-to-day basis. And I don't mean by spending hours studying grammar in books. I mean authentic exposure, make English a part of your life. You also have to make sure that you have enough opportunity to use your English in real life context. So there's no fast track to English fluency.
So Amber, what's different about ET programs?
Well, there are a number of things that are different about ET programs, but one of them is that we specialize in custom design programs to suit the needs of individual businesses. And this is different to a lot of other language providers who take off-the-shelf programs which are not really suited to the individual needs of the companies that they work with. Another thing that's different about English Today programs is that we take learning outside of the classroom. So we have internal elements and external elements as well. The secret to language development is actually, as I said before, integrating it and making it part of your life, but it's also becoming an autonomous learner as well. So it's increasing your own language awareness, and it's being aware of strategies that you need to implement in order to improve your own language skills. And that happens in real life. I mean, the reality is that our students don't spend their whole lives with us. They don't always have a trainer or a facilitator there to assist them. So they need to develop their skills as an autonomous learner. They need to be able to identify their own strengths and weaknesses, and then they need to be able to identify and apply strategies in order to improve those weaknesses, and then continue to monitor their use of language in communication situations.
Can you give an example of some of the strategies that someone can use?
Okay, so you'll hear this a lot from a lot of people. Okay, grammar saya jelek. Ya, grammar saya jelek. Ya, saya harus perbaiki grammar saya. The problem is that grammar is a very, very broad area. They know that they have problems with grammatical accuracy, but they're not sure exactly what the problem is. And I've said this to many of my trainees and my students. It's very much like going to a doctor and saying, I'm sick. I mean, what does a doctor do? The doctor asks you about your symptoms, and then he diagnoses your illness before he gives you medication, right? So before you can improve and really start to develop your language skills and improve in certain areas, you need to know where your strengths and weaknesses are. So if you feel you have a problem with grammatical accuracy, you have to know exactly where that problem is. If you want to improve your pronunciation, which everybody does, then exactly what problems are you having with pronunciation? Now, for example, if it's a phoneme problem, it's relatively easy to fix, and a few quick pronunciation exercises can easily be applied. So these big problems that we see are actually very, very easy to solve as long as we're able to identify exactly where the problem is.